Hi and welcome back to Tales Against Humanity, r/slash idontworkherelady. In today's episode, confused for an employee by the store's shift supervisor, manager. This is a private residence, not supercuts. Blind and dumb Karen vs. 15Y.0. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Confused for an employee by the store's shift supervisor, manager. Not the craziest ident worker story, but this happened on my way to work, and we all had a good laugh after everyone realized what was happening. Background: I work in security, so uniform is black pants, black boots, think construction steel caps, light blue shirt, tie, very dark blue, borderline black, jersey, and a high-vis jacket with removable sleeves/hood which I tend to not have attached, so it looks more like a vest, and a beanie or cap. Company logo/name is all over the upper body uniform pieces. While traveling to and from work, I tend to have my over-ear headphones on with my music pretty loud. I work 4 days on 4 days off, 12-hour shift overnight, and spend 1.5 to 2 hours traveling each way, so get very little sleep during my work week, meaning by the end of it I'm a walking zombie on my way to work, and don't normally wake up properly till I've had my cup of tea when I get to the site. Supermarket's uniform is black pants, black shoes, and a black with red highlights polo with store logo in the normal over the breast pocket location. What happened? So I'm on my way into work earlier tonight, going to the supermarket at the city's train station, while I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to have for lunch/what I'm going to have with my dinner, when my headphones get pretty much ripped from my head, as I turn out to find out what the hell is going on, and to get my headphone back, a guy wearing the store uniform starts talking at me in a loud voice about half a step down from yelling, "What are you doing? We don't pay you to stand around in the store listening to music, you're meant to be out back decanting the pallets, they aren't going to unpack themselves." I was rather annoyed about my headphones being removed. But after he finished, I'm guessing I just had the biggest WTF look on my face, 'cause he just stares at me for about 10 seconds then said, "Well, get moving, you can get these back when you finish your sure, FT." I think that is when he saw the company's logo on my beanie, 'cause he just started spluttering, and said OSH*T, "You don't work for us," and I just made an arse of myself, "Sorry mate," while holding my headphones out to me. I grabbed them back, told him no, I don't work here, and I bloody hope that's not how you normally treat your employees. Again, he was constantly saying he was sorry, that it had been a rough day, and something about some of his workers skiving off, and the stockroom getting behind. Honestly, I zoned out as it was none of my business, and I didn't really care. I had only been awake for a few hours at this point, and was on my way to my last shift of the week, so was pretty much only half with it. By now people have noticed the encounter, and the store's hired security comes over. He works for a different company, but this guy is one of the guys I chat with almost daily on my way into work, so walks up to me and says, "Hey guts bro, you all good?" I replied, "Yeah mate, worker dude here just mistook me for one of his storemen, snatched my headphones from my head and not quite yelled at me before realizing his mistake. Someone might want to get him a coffee, as it looks like I'm not the only one that needs a pick-me-up." Turns out the employee was the closing shift supervisor, so pretty much the highest up to totem pole manager on site at that time of night, and he went beetroot red when I said this, and started trying to apologize again. I told him it's all good bro, no harm no foul, my headphones aren't broken, the only injuries are to egos, but I would refrain from snatching things off people's heads in the future myself. And the other guard had a chuckle, and the supervisor even saw the humor, and joined us in our chuckle. Guard heads back to his post saying he will catch me later, as he knows he isn't needed. I say to the supervisor, "I hope you can find your missing workers, and can catch up on the decanting." He said thanks, and I thought, right back to getting my crap. I finish my shopping and walk towards the checkouts with my plain roll to have with my goulash, my energy drink, milk for my cups of tea, and some sugary crap to snack on. Get to the checkouts, and the supervisor is standing behind the man tills, sees me get to the front of the line and waves me over. I walked up, placed my items on the bench, say hello, and asked him if he found his worker. He responded saying he had. They were outside smoking, but were taking their breaks so were allowed, but they forgot to tell him, ops. He rings up my items, I swipe my membership card, not that it gives me much as I don't spend enough, but sometimes you get discounts on items with it you wouldn't otherwise get, and go to pull out my FPOS card, he sees his and says, "Put that away, mate. This is on the house. It's the least I can do after what I did to you." I told him he didn't have to, but if he wanted I wasn't going to say no, and he said he wanted to, as I could have made the whole thing a lot worse for him, but didn't. I thanked him, collected my items, wished him a easy rest of shift, when he said thanks and wished me the same, and I went on my way. Not working somewhere saved me about $18, $12 to $13 USD, almost wish I grabbed more, but didn't know it was going to be free. Oh well. Was just eating my free M&Ms, watching YouTube vids about Reddit posts on my break, and realized I could post my own ident worker story. It's not the most exciting, I know, but you read/hear stories of one customer confusing another customer for an employee, but not the manager of the store confusing you for an employee of the store they are running. Hope you all enjoyed my wall of text. This is a private residence, not supercuts. I was reminded of this story while watching a video on YouTube where they read a story from this forum about a guy who kept having a lady call his home insisting that he was lying and his home was Domino's. This happened many years ago when there was a Supercuts in my hometown. Their phone number and ours were almost exactly alike, except their last digit was different from ours. Now ours had the same 3 digits in a row at the end, think like 333, 777, etc., while theirs was 2 of the same digits and then a 0. i.e., 330, 770, you get the idea. Which means it was very easy to accidentally dial our number instead of theirs if you were dialing too fast. At the time, answering machines weren't as prevalent as they'd be a few years later. So when I was forced by my parents to answer the phone instead of hello, I used to say, "Our last name, residence." That always seemed to get the people who meant to call Supercuts to realize they dialed the wrong number, and I'd just say, "Oh, yeah, there's ends in a 0, just dial a little slower." They'd thank me and hang up. My mom, for some reason though, still insisted on saying hello instead of answering my way. Which meant she often got people trying to make appointments for Supercuts. Now I'd say 99% of the time they'd accept from her, "Oh, you've got the wrong number, this is our name, residence." They'd apologize and hang up. One time a kid in the army called because he'd been on leave and needed a haircut before he went back. He was very disappointed he called the wrong number. Now mom happens to be a retired hairstylist and offered to cut his hair for free. Even told him where we lived and how to get there. I can't remember if he showed up or if he decided to just go to Supercuts instead. But one lady did not get it. She kept calling and calling and calling. Mom was the one who answered, the first time and every time after. The first time the woman angrily hung up. Then she hung up instantly every single time mom answered the phone and said, "Hello." Finally, after what must have been a good 10 or 15 minutes of calling our house, she yelled at my mom, "Would you stop picking up the phone? I'm trying to call Supercuts." We got an answering machine not long after, and a couple years later Supercuts shut down that location, so we stopped getting calls for them. I know, not the most dramatic story compared to some here, but I thought I'd share this old childhood memory. I hope you all have a nice, Karen-free day. Blind and Dumb Karen vs a 15y.0. This is my first post on this subreddit. IDK the rules or regulations here if there are any, but I'll follow what the others have done here. So for context, I'm 15, 5 feet 9 inches and rapidly growing. I am so fluent in English that some mistake me for a foreigner because I'm taller than average and very fluent in English. Others also think I'm an employee, but I explain that I don't work here, and that I'm a minor just getting stuff for mom to pay. Most understand, most. Story: so this happened a few weeks back. I can remember most of the events, but some details I forgot, so forgive me. I am picking out stuff in the supermarket in the mall, wearing basketball shoes, pants, polo t-shirt, and wearing a black jacket. I'm wearing headphones listening to music from Spotify on my phone, picking out stuff to bring to my mom. Now, the supermarket where I'm picking stuff is quite popular for foreigners, located in a small town. Most of us know each other, so picking out some stuff from the shelf and I feel a tap on my shoulder. Thinking it's my mom, I turn around and I take my headphones. But oh ho ho no, it's not my mom. a Karen is in front of me with the typical look. She is wearing jogging shoes, jogging pants, a sweater, and a cap facing backwards. Now the following convo goes something like this. Karen, hey, do you know where the coffee aisle is? Me, yes, it's about 2 aisles to your right. Karen, no it isn't, I looked there earlier and there was no coffee. Me. Well okay, I'll just call one of the employees to bring down some coffee from the boxes. Karen, no, I won't wait for that long, you do it. Me, confused, pardon? Karen, you bring down the coffee. Me, confused on the request, ma'am, I'm not an employee here, I'm not even 18. Karen, don't make excuses, I know you work here, I don't pay for these products to give a paycheck to employees like you. Side note, employees are wearing black shoes, black pants, green shirt, white apron, and green cap. Me, ma'am, I'm not an employee here, as I said, I'm only 15, and I'd like to finish getting stuff for my mom to pay. Karen, no, you are going to help me, or I'll get your manager. At this point, I've had enough, so I put on my headphones and start walking away. Karen decides to yank my headphones of my head, damaging the left lobe to the point it's attached to the headphone via the wires. Me, what the heck, lady? Karen, where's your manager? I want to speak with him. Me, pissed off. How many times do I have to say this? I'm not an employee here. I don't even have the name plate nor the uniform. Karen, get me your manager so I can get you fired. Me, I told you many times, I don't work here. Are you blind? Deaf? Or both? Karen then proceeds to slap me and starts pulling me by my jacket sleeve. I did get free and I start screaming, berating her to the point she leaves, and I said to myself finally, it's over, or so I thought. About 30 minutes later, same lady shows up again, this time with someone I presume is the manager /. Karen goes, there. That's him. That's the employee that assaulted me. I want him fired right this instant. Manager, ma'am, what? He isn't an employee, he's just a regular here. Karen then proceeds to start shouting at the manager, screaming racism at me at every opportunity, and as a crowd started to form, my mom, who has been finding me, finally sees the commotion. Mom asks in confusion, what happening and what happened to you? I then tell her everything that's happened. Karen finally is seeing she isn't getting anything out of the manager, walks over to me and grabs me by my shirt's collar and starts pulling me towards the manager. Here, I've truly had enough, pull her hand and start beating her head onto one of the shelves out of pure anger. I am autistic, so you can see how much this played out. After landing a gut punch, my mom pulls me away and Karen starts screaming, saying to get the police, her lawyer, and the local judge. Now some people in the crowd attempt to defend Karen's action with the manager defending me. After 10 to 15 minutes, the police arrive and take the statement of me, the manager, Karen, my mom, the bystanders Oswell, and check the security footage showing I was dragged against my own will, and that she did in fact assault me first. My mom shows an ID of mine proving I am 15 years of age, and the police then arrest her. One of the officers asks if I want to press charges and I happily agree. She is charged with child battery, child endangerment, property damage, assault and resisting arrest. She kicked an officer in the leg. Now you think this would be the end, but there's still more to the story. Last week, we went to court and the judge happens to be my substitute class teacher. Karen got perhaps a cheap lawyer as everything she did, she and her lawyer denied, and after presenting the evidence, the trial was done in 3 hours. She was sentenced to pay a fine of up to PHP 15,000, about $300 for all to understand, and a prison sentence of about 5 years. This part is edit. She did get a parole. I'm sorry if this is a long one, but I thought I'd share it. But do you think I should have charged more?